Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the English Academy podcast. I'm Adam.
And I'm Anna. We are so thrilled to have you joining us again today. Whether you're listening on your commute, at the gym, or sipping your morning coffee, we're so glad you're here to practice your English with us.
Exactly. And speaking of morning coffee, today's topic is something every single one of us can relate to. We are going to be talking all about our morning routines.
That's right. We'll be sharing exactly what we do from the moment our alarms go off, right up until we walk out the front door. It's a fantastic way to learn practical, everyday English vocabulary that you can use to describe your own daily life.
But before we dive into the sleepy details, we have a quick favor to ask. If you are enjoying our podcast and want to help our channel grow, please make sure to hit that subscribe button.
Yes, and please don't forget to like this video and share it with a friend who is also learning English. Also, we want to hear from you. Leave us a comment down below and tell us, what is the very first thing you do when you wake up in the morning?
We can't wait to read your answers in the comments. All right, Anna, are you ready to get started with today's lesson?
Let's do it.
So, Anna, when it comes to the morning, are you an early bird or a night owl? What time does your alarm usually go off?
I am definitely not an early bird, Adam. My alarm goes off at 6:30 a.m., but I have a terrible habit of hitting the snooze button at least twice before my feet touch the floor. What about you?
I try my best to avoid the snooze button. Once my alarm rings at 6 a.m., I force myself to roll out of bed immediately. I like to do a quick 5-minute stretch to wake up my muscles and get the blood flowing.
A 5-minute stretch? That sounds so disciplined. When my alarm goes off, my first instinct is to hide under the covers. The snooze button is my best friend and my worst enemy at the same time. By the time I actually sit up, it's already 6:50 a.m.
I used to be like that too, but I realized that hitting snooze actually makes me feel more tired. It's called sleep inertia. Now, as soon as I hear that sound, I switch on my bedside lamp. The bright light helps signal to my brain that the night is over.
That's a good tip. I usually keep my room pitch black, which is probably why I struggle to open my eyes. Do you use a standard alarm sound, or do you wake up to music?
I actually use a gentle bird chirping sound. I find that loud, aggressive beeping makes me wake up feeling stressed. I prefer a gradual wake-up call. What about your phone? Is it right next to your bed?
Unfortunately, yes. It's right on my nightstand. The first thing I do, even before I'm fully awake, is check my notifications. I know it's a bad habit, but I start scrolling through emails and social media while I'm still half asleep.
Oh, I try to avoid that. I keep my phone in the kitchen overnight. It forces me to get out of bed to turn it off, and it prevents me from scrolling the moment I wake up. I find that my mind is much calmer if I don't look at a screen for the first 30 minutes of the day.
Moving the phone to another room? That sounds like a challenge. But you're right, it probably helps you focus. So after your 5-minute stretch, do you feel fully energized, or are you still a bit groggy?
I definitely feel a bit groggy for the first few minutes, but the stretching helps a lot. I focus on my neck, shoulders, and back. It's like telling my body, hey, it's time to move. After that, I head straight to the kitchen for a glass of water.
Water is a great idea. I usually go straight for the caffeine, but I've heard that drinking a full glass of water first thing in the morning is much better for your hydration. I might have to try your no snooze and water first policy tomorrow.
It takes a few days to get used to, but it makes a huge difference in your energy levels. Once you break the habit of lingering in bed, the rest of the morning feels much more productive.
I believe you. I always feel like I'm rushing because I spent those extra 20 minutes sleeping. I need to start my day with more intention, just like you do.
It's all about small steps, Anna. Even just getting up 5 minutes earlier can change the whole vibe of your morning.
That's impressive discipline, Adam. After I finally get up, I stumble straight into the bathroom. I'm usually still half asleep, so I have to be careful not to trip over the rug. The first thing I do is brush my teeth. I love that minty fresh feeling. It's the first sign to my brain that the day has actually started.
I'm the same way. Brushing your teeth is like a reset button for your mouth. Do you use an electric toothbrush or a manual one?
I switched to an electric one last year, and honestly, I'll never go back. It feels much cleaner. After that, I splash my face with ice-cold water. It's a bit of a shock to the system, but it really helps to reduce any puffiness around my eyes and wakes me up instantly. Then I hop into a quick shower.
Splashing cold water is a great trick. I do the same, though I usually save the cold water for the very end of my shower. I usually shave first while the mirror is still clear of steam, then I jump into a warm shower. I find that standing in the warm water helps me mentally plan out my tasks for the day before the chaos starts. It's my thinking time.
A warm shower makes me want to go back to sleep. I find it too relaxing. I keep the water lukewarm, not too hot, not too cold, just to keep me moving. I try to keep my shower under 5 minutes to save water and time. I'm usually scrubbing away with my favorite citrus-scented body wash to feel energized.
5 minutes? That's fast. I'm probably in there for 10. I use that time to use a facial scrub and then just stand under the shower head for a moment of peace. Once I'm out, I towel off quickly because the bathroom gets chilly. Do you have a long post-shower routine?
It's not too long, but it's essential. After I step out and dry off, I quickly brush my hair. If I don't detangle it immediately, it becomes a disaster later. Then I apply some moisturizer and finish my skincare routine, usually just a simple vitamin C serum and some sunscreen. Even if I'm staying indoors, I never skip the sunscreen.
That's very responsible of you. I'm much simpler. After the shower, I just put on some deodorant, maybe a little bit of aftershave if I've just shaved, and then I'm done. I don't really have a skincare routine other than washing my face.
You should really try a moisturizer, Adam, especially in the winter when the air is so dry. It makes a big difference. Anyway, once my face is ready, I hang up my damp towel. I hate it when people leave wet towels on the floor, and head back to the bedroom to find some clothes.
I'm with you on the towels. A tidy bathroom leads to a tidy mind. I usually wipe down the sink quickly if I've made a mess while shaving. It only takes 10 seconds, but it makes the place look much better for the rest of the day.
Exactly. It's those small habits that keep the morning from feeling messy. By the time I leave the bathroom, I'm finally 100% awake and ready to face the world. Or at least ready to find some breakfast.
Well, you've convinced me on the cold water splash. I might try a colder shower tomorrow to see if it speeds up my routine.
I completely understand that feeling, Adam. For many people, the kitchen is the true starting point of the day. As soon as I walk in, I usually put the kettle on. If I want a calm start, I go for some green tea. But if I need a bigger boost to my energy, I make a frothy cappuccino.
Once I'm clean and awake, it's time for the absolute most important part of my morning, coffee. Honestly, I can't function properly without a strong cup of black coffee. I don't even add sugar or milk. I just need that pure caffeine hit to jumpstart my brain.
Black coffee is a bit too intense for me first thing in the morning. I need a bit of milk to soften the taste. While my tea is steeping or my coffee is brewing, I try to throw together a quick but healthy breakfast. Usually it's a warm bowl of oatmeal topped with fresh berries, or if I'm feeling fancy, some avocado on toast with a sprinkle of red pepper flakes.
Avocado toast is a solid choice. It's like a cafe breakfast at home. I'm much more basic when it comes to food. I usually stick to a simple bowl of cereal with cold milk. It's fast and there's almost no cleanup. However, if I happen to have a little extra time on a Friday, I might make some scrambled eggs. You definitely need that fuel to get through the morning meetings.
You're right about the fuel. If I skip breakfast, I find myself getting hangry. You know, hungry and angry by 10:30 a.m. Do you sit down to eat, or are you one of those people who eats while standing up in the kitchen?
I'm definitely a stand-up eater during the week. I'm usually checking the weather forecast on my phone or looking at my calendar while I finish my cereal. I know it's not the most relaxing way to eat, but it feels efficient. What about you? Do you have a breakfast table ritual?
I try to sit down at the dining table for at least 10 minutes. I find that if I rush my food, I don't enjoy it. I like to look out the window and watch the birds while I eat my oatmeal. It's a very peaceful moment before the digital noise of the day begins.
That sounds very mindful, Anna. I should probably try to slow down. I've noticed that when I drink my coffee too fast, I just get jittery. Maybe sitting down would help me savor the flavor more. Do you ever meal prep your breakfast, or do you make it fresh every single day?
I'm a big fan of overnight oats. I put the oats, milk, and seeds in a jar the night before and leave them in the fridge. In the morning, I just grab the jar, add some fruit, and it's ready. It saves me so much time when I'm running late.
That's a genius hack. I should look into that. My scrambled eggs take forever because I have to wash the pan afterward, which is the worst part of the morning. Usually I end up leaving the pan in the sink to soak and deal with it when I get home from work.
Oh, I can't do that. I have to leave the kitchen sparkling clean before I leave. If I come home to a messy kitchen with a dirty pan in the sink, it ruins my evening mood. I'm a clean-as-you-go type of person.
I admire that. I'm clearly the messy chef in this duo. But regardless of how we eat, we both agree that caffeine is the ultimate priority. Without that cup of coffee or tea, the rest of the routine just doesn't happen.
Exactly. It's the ritual of the warm mug in your hands that really signals the transition from sleep mode to work mode.
That is a very smart habit, Anna. I am definitely guilty of just grabbing whatever shirt is clean and already ironed 5 minutes before I have to leave. I often find myself standing in front of the wardrobe wondering where my favorite pair of socks went.
After breakfast, it's time to actually get dressed for the day. I try to pick out my outfit the night before so I don't waste 10 minutes just staring blankly into my closet. It saves me so much stress in the morning, especially if I have an important meeting and need to look professional.
I really should start doing that. My morning fashion show usually involves me trying on a sweater, realizing it's too warm for the weather, and then frantically digging through my drawer for a t-shirt. Once I'm finally dressed and look presentable, I move on to the logistics phase. I pack my work bag and double-check that I have my big three: my laptop, my keys, and my wallet.
Exactly, the mental checklist. I do the same thing, but my list is a bit longer. I pack my gym bag because I like to head straight to a yoga class after work. I make sure I have my reusable water bottle filled up, my charger, and my lunchbox. If I forget my lunch, I end up spending way too much money at the deli down the street.
I know that feeling. I've left my house without my keys before, and let me tell you, that is a mistake you only make once. Now I keep a small tray by the front door where I drop my essentials every night. It's like a landing pad for my life. Do you do a final mirror check before you head out?
Oh, absolutely. I do one final mirror check to make sure my hair isn't doing anything crazy and that I haven't spilled any oatmeal on my blouse. Once I'm satisfied, I put my coat and shoes on. I usually choose my shoes based on how much walking I have to do that day. If it's a busy day, it's definitely sneakers or flat shoes.
Comfort is key. I usually check the weather app one last time before I pick my jacket. If there's even a 10% chance of rain, I grab my umbrella. There's nothing worse than getting soaked on the way to the office and having to sit in damp clothes all day.
That's the worst. I always keep a spare light jacket in my bag just in case the office air conditioning is too cold. It's all about being prepared for any situation. Once the bag is zipped and the shoes are tied, I feel like I'm officially ready to transition from home mode to world mode.
It's a great feeling when everything is organized. It gives you a sense of control. When I have my bag over my shoulder and my keys in my hand, I feel like I can handle whatever the workday throws at me.
It really does set the tone for the day. Being organized isn't just about saving time, it's about saving your mental energy. Instead of worrying about where my keys are, I can start thinking about my goals for the day.
Well said. Now that we're dressed and packed, there's only one thing left to do: actually leave the house.
I drive to work, so I try to leave the house by 8 a.m. sharp to beat the worst of the rush hour traffic. If I leave even 5 minutes late, the highway becomes a parking lot. It's all about timing. Once I'm in the car, I plug in my phone and put on a good podcast or an audiobook to listen to on the road. It makes the drive feel much shorter.
Then comes the final step, the commute. I usually lock the front door around 7:45 a.m. and walk down to the train station. It's about a 10-minute walk, and I really cherish that time. It's a nice bit of fresh air to clear my head before I enter the office building.
I'm a bit jealous of your walk, Adam. Sometimes being stuck in a car feels a bit isolating. However, I do enjoy my private concert time. I often sing along to my favorite songs when I'm stuck at a red light. Do you usually find a seat on the train, or is it standing room only?
Since I leave relatively early, I usually manage to snag a seat. That's when I pull out my e-reader or just observe the other commuters. It's interesting to see everyone in their own little world. Some people are sleeping, some are working on their laptops, and others are just staring out the window like me.
I wish I could read while traveling, but I get motion sickness if I look at a screen or a book in a moving vehicle. That's why audiobooks are a lifesaver for me. By the time I pull into the office parking lot, I've usually learned something new or finished a chapter of a thriller. It makes me feel like I haven't wasted my time in traffic.
Listening to something interesting or productive on the way to work is the perfect way to wrap up the morning routine and transition into the workday. It acts as a mental bridge. By the time I step off the train and walk the final block to my office, I feel completely switched on and ready to check my emails.
I agree. That bridge is so important. When I finally turn off the engine and grab my bags from the passenger seat, I take one deep breath. The morning routine is officially over and the professional day begins. I feel much more composed when I've had that structured time to myself.
Absolutely. Whether you're walking, driving, or taking the train, how you spend those final minutes of your morning determines your mood for the rest of the day. If you're rushing and stressed, your work will feel stressful. If you're calm and prepared, you'll be much more efficient.
Well said, Adam. I think we've both mastered our own versions of the perfect morning. It might be different for everyone, but the goal is the same, to start the day on your own terms.
Exactly. And now it's time for us to actually get to work.
Well, everyone, that brings us to the end of today's episode on morning routines. We hope you enjoyed listening to our conversation, and more importantly, that you picked up some useful new English phrases to describe your own daily habits.
It's been a pleasure sharing our mornings with you. Remember, improving your English is all about consistency, just like a good morning routine. Try to use at least one or two of the words we discussed today in a sentence this week.
Before you go, if you found this episode helpful, please show us some love. Make sure to subscribe to the English Academy podcast so you never miss a lesson.
And don't forget to hit that like button and share this video with your fellow English learners. The more people we can reach, the more we can help the global community improve their fluency.
We also love hearing from you. Please leave a comment below. Tell us, are you an early bird like Adam, or do you hit the snooze button like me? We read every single comment.
Thanks for tuning in. Stay motivated, and we will see you in the next episode.
Goodbye for now.